Truly wireless earbuds. You know, we use these very frequently, and there's so many out there in the world these days. Which ones are good? And do any of them really stand out? Well, I think that's what we want to answer today with a new product, a new release that happened recently, and that is the Nothing Ear 2. Now, Nothing is a pretty new company. They released the Ear 1 just last year, I believe. It was their first foray into the truly wireless IEM space. And I really wanted to talk about my impressions about this and how it can stand up towards something like the AirPods Pro 2, which is my otherwise daily driver. So let's talk about the build of the Nothing Ear 2. So the case right here, pretty unique looking design overall. It has this kind of divot down here, and that's sort of for this like fidget spinner sort of design. It's fun, it's playful. This divot here, however, does kind of keep, if you can kind of see there, it does keep the IEMs actually in place, as well as these two other divots right here. If I pull up the case, you can actually kind of see that, these divots. Unlike maybe some other options out there on the market, I'm able to just drop these in and they fall into place magnetically. They don't slip and slide out. It's so satisfying to just like drop it in and it goes right into where it needs to be. In terms of the fit, they fit quite nicely in my ears. I would say they're quite similar in terms of fit to the AirPods Pro. I am using, I believe, the medium-sized tips, and these have stayed in my ears quite well. I don't feel any sort of pressure in terms of like pain, discomfort. They've been honestly really good. There's actually a video on their channel. One of their designers spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to create a design for, you know, different size ears and ear shapes. And so these fit really well into my ears, especially. So with these coming in at $150, I have been very pleased in those elements. If you can't wear them for very long, what are they really worth to you? In terms of the sound profile, this is a pretty Harman Target tuned IEM, pretty much where I would like it overall, but very similar to my experience with the AirPods Pro 2, I do find that I like a little bit more richness in the treble. And the beautiful part about that is that, much like I did a video on the AirPods Pro 2 and how you can use the headphone accommodation settings to make those adjustments, this has an app as well where you can kind of profile your ears and figure out where maybe you have hearing loss, and you can compensate for that. And even beyond that, you can just dial in your own preferences. So I do really like the fact that this is a little bit more personalizable compared to some other options I've seen on the market. And overall, their app is pleasant to use. Every now and then I'll get distortion and compression, especially in the treble frequencies. Sometimes I'll disconnect and reconnect and it's not a problem. It kind of starts to sound tinny, and I'm hoping that a firmware update could fix this. They did try to address it. I feel like I experience it less now, but here and there I have still kind of noticed that behavior. In terms of signal strength, this is still not gonna reach the level of AirPods Pro. Nothing Ear 2 is decent, but it tends to experience interference. When I go to crosswalks on my commute, sometimes I run into issues where all of a sudden the left ear and the right ear are becoming desynchronized, but they always come back. But it's just in those moments when I'm trying to just enjoy my music that it kind of breaks that wall. So if you're in like a high traffic area, maybe going through crosswalks, this may be problematic for you under those circumstances. So currently the control schemes of the Ear 2 are pretty simple. Much like the AirPods Pro, they have this little stem here and it's pinchable just like the AirPods Pro. You can't swipe gestures like the Pro 2 can, but you can just pinch, and you can do pinch and hold gestures. And you can individually customize each earbud. So if you want different controls on the left earbud compared to the right earbud, you are totally able to do that from within the app. And that's where you also do your firmware updates. Let's kind of get into the ANC. So the active noise cancellation, it's decent. It's definitely not as good as AirPods Pro 2. The AirPods Pro 2 is just great at picking out droning noises, but the Ear 2 is not quite as good at that. I feel like in the bass, in like lower frequencies, it's not as good as attenuating those. And same with the higher, just treble frequencies, just droning noises in general. It's not quite as good, but I will say that overall, I still do find that it is sufficient for me. If I'm out and about walking and hearing traffic noises, I do feel like this helps. But most of the time I'm listening to music, it's not really a problem at the end of the day. In terms of the transparency mode, I would say that this is a significant step below the AirPods Pro 2. It does have this like you're wearing headphones kind of sound where you can hear the body of your voice when you have the transparency mode on. It can kind of get the job done, but it doesn't really open up like the AirPods Pro 2 does. But that being said, I have been putting this at the top of my bag during my commutes, and overall, aside from those few glitches and things that I mentioned earlier, I've just really enjoyed using these on a daily basis. And so I've been using them way more than I've been using my AirPods Pro 2. Are there things that I missed about the AirPods Pro 2 while using this? Sure, there are some things in regards to the Apple ecosystem and things of that nature. But overall, the music that I'm listening to on these, they still sound pleasant. In terms of battery, I'm not feeling like I'm really missing out on anything there. The experience of using these is overall pleasant with some minor hitches that hopefully could be fixed in firmware, but we'll just have to see what happens. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about the Nothing Ear 2 today. I've been quite pleasantly surprised with using these on a daily basis for the past several weeks. And if you're wanting to stick around for some more audio related content, get subscribed. If you got any comments, you got any questions about the Ear 2, leave them down below. And I will catch you guys in the next one coming soon.